It's coffee time, it's coffee time, it's the One Pot Chef drinking coffee in time. And that's still crap. Welcome to an exceedingly late edition of Coffee Time, the monthly chat show here on the One Pot Chef blog where I answer questions sent in by you. Now, if you've got a question for the next edition of Coffee Time for next month, all you have to do is leave your question in the comments section underneath this video on YouTube. Now, this edition of Coffee Time is late this month because I had a trip to Perth a couple of weeks ago and it kind of threw out my whole schedule, and as it always does, life just gets in the way. So let's waste no further time and get into the questions. First one comes from Jack Wilkins. What are your top 5 YouTube channels not run by friends or your own that you enjoy to watch? Oh, okay. Good grief. You're going to get me into trouble. Although, admittedly, if you say that it's not run by friends, I kind of got a get out of jail free card on that one. I don't know. Let me have a look at my subscription box. Let's have a shufty. Well, first one I would definitely say is Award80. Now, Award80 is an Australian guy. He does these amazing comedy videos. They're incredibly funny. It's such a shame he doesn't have a much larger audience. He really deserves it. So go and check out his channel. He's very, very funny. What else have we got? Why is this not opening? Oh, it's broken. The internet's broken. Okay, there we go. Okay, Average Betty, cooking channel from the US. Sarah, who runs it, is just an absolute scream. She's so funny. Really, really talented at cooking, and she's just got this really sort of witty way of doing what she does, and she just comes out with these funny little lines that just make you go, whoa, that's funny, I love that. So go and check her out. Let's have a shufty. Who else have we got here? Everyone I'm subscribed to I'm really good friends with, so I don't know. Let me have a look at. You're making this difficult. Joe Nation TV, I don't actually know him, but like, my God, he looks good with his shirt off. Don't know what videos he makes. Oh goodness, I don't know. Prank versus Prank. I only discovered that channel recently and I love it. It's boyfriend and girlfriend from the US and they take turns just doing these incredible pranks against each other, and they just sort of escalate and you become more and more vicious towards each other. The most recent one was the boyfriend getting the girlfriend back by putting little dried insects, what were they, like grasshoppers or something, into her food. And when she found out, she absolutely freaked. So that was incredibly funny. The Viddle Vlog, absolutely, I'm going to shout him out because he's got this amazing cooking channel and he's got hundreds of videos and he just does this amazing stuff in his kitchen, and he's got a little toaster oven and he does all of his cooking in a toaster oven. So it's really brilliant stuff. And yeah, he's got such a wide sort of variety of recipes. He does all sorts of stuff, and I'm going to embarrass him when I say this. He has the most enormous muscly arms. Holy God! If you like arms, ladies, you'll like him. And who else have we got? Oh goodness, I don't know. How many was that? I think that's 5. I don't know. I can't count. So yeah, that's close enough to 5. Okay, next question. Emmy Gallon. Can you make a spam corn dog? You'd be my hero if you could. Okay, I think I'm going to break your heart and not be your hero, because I actually tried to make corn dogs once, and suffice it to say, it was an absolute failure. I nearly set fire to the kitchen in the process of making these bloody things. I think it's an example of where I just didn't have a big enough pot to cook them in. And I really needed a deep fryer, and I've actively avoided getting a deep fat fryer for my kitchen because I know I'll use it, and frankly, don't need any more fat. So, yeah, so spam corn dog. I've never heard of that one. That's weird. I would never have thought of putting spam on a stick and covering it in cornmeal stuff, so you've almost got me thinking of trying it, actually. Oh, you're evil. I like that. Next question. Cadley 28574. New to your blog area, but I love your cooking. One question is, why do we never see your partner? And how does he feel about your cooking? Simple answer to that is he's really, really camera shy. I think on the blog channel you may have only ever seen him once, and it was a really brief appearance. Beyond that, you hear his voice occasionally in the background when I'm doing sort of out and about blogs and things like that. But yeah, he's really camera shy, does not like to be appearing on camera and in videos and stuff. That being said, he loves my cooking, and generally he's the one who's my official taste tester. So when I'm doing a dry run on a recipe that I'm going to be making for a video that maybe it's something I haven't tried cooking before, he's usually the one to give me the yay or the nay on it if it's any good. Yeah, so I've never heard any complaints from him, let's put it that way. Emma84. If our slightly backwards country ever introduces gay marriage, would you and your partner get married? Good question. Probably not. It's not something that's especially important to us. The reality is that we've been together for so long, we are more or less married. I mean, like, the only difference is we haven't got a ring on it and don't have a bit of paper that says we're married. But that being said, I don't really think that marriage itself would make any major difference. It's sort of, we've got pretty much everything we need, and we're happy, and I don't think it would ever happen. I mean, that being said, I think gay marriage will eventually happen in this country, but I don't think it's something that my partner and I would get involved in, so it just doesn't really sort of worry us that much. I think we don't need a bit of paper to say what we feel about each other. So that being said, if he wants to put a ring on it, I'm not going to say no. I cannot believe I'm so queer. All right, next question. Ina Schmitz, what was your favourite meal as a child? You got me bloody thinking now. I don't know. I don't know. My mum used to make so many different things. I can't really think of it. It would probably be something really basic like spaghetti bolognese or something, because that was always awesome when Mum put a big sort of pot of spaghetti bolognese on. But I don't know. That being said, I really liked the way Mum made her fish fingers. Like, she used to, like, obviously buy fish fingers. No one's going to sit there and make fish fingers every week or anything. But I don't know why, but whenever she cooked them, they tasted better than any other fish fingers. I'm not sure what she did when she fried them up, or if she had some sort of secret ingredient she added to it, but they always tasted better when Mum cooked them. I don't know why, and I've never been able to replicate that flavour. I'm not sure. Maybe she fried them in something other than oil, like maybe she used butter or, I don't know, rancid yak milk. I have no idea. She was always experimental, so who knows. Next question. The Chaos Dog. Least favourite food? I've got a couple of ones that I don't actively enjoy, but I don't know if I've got anything that I could actually say is a least favourite. I guess that's the good thing about being an adult. You don't have to sort of eat things that you don't necessarily want to. I'm not a fan of Brussels sprouts. I don't care what anyone says. They look like giant snot balls covered in leaves. Gross. I'm so eloquent. Yeah, I'm not a fan of mushrooms. I don't mind the flavour of them. I just don't like the texture of them. It's like, I can't get past the fungus thing. Other than that, I don't know. Probably oysters. I really just don't get the appeal of oysters. It's just like a salty ball of snot in a shell. I don't know. Other than that, I'm pretty average. Like, sort of pretty much eat everything. Venue Cam. If you could eat chocolate all day, what beverage would best accompany your favourite chocolate? Duh, hot chocolate. Man, if I could eat chocolate all day, I'd be dead by next week. Yeah, I would say hot chocolate, because, like, what could you possibly eat other than hot chocolate with chocolate? 8465246162. let's say a big corporation contacts you and wants to buy off your channel and the One Pot Chef trademark for $500,000, and they would own 100% of it. Would you accept that deal, maybe negotiate for more money, or wouldn't you sell it at all at any price? Well, I don't think I would ever sell it, but I wouldn't actually be able to because I don't actually own the channel. No one owns their YouTube channel. They're always owned by YouTube. So, like, it's actually in the terms of service that you can't actually sell your channel to somebody else. That being said, I can't imagine anyone would try to buy the One Pot Chef name because I am the One Pot Chef, and if they wouldn't be able to use it as anyone else because the whole thing is me. So, that being said, if someone's stupid enough to want to buy the One Pot Chef, it's up for sale. $3 zillion. No, I don't think I'd ever sell it. Not that I think there's anything to actually sell, but it's mine. So, yeah. Stealth weapon. Please, could you make a version of Girlfriend's Favourite, a One Pot Chef tinned spaghetti on toast with a twist? Her name is Joy Turner, thank you. I would get flogged alive if I did a recipe for tinned spaghetti on toast. Do you have any idea the people who watch my cooking channel, they would kill me. I would, yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, I can't imagine what I would do to that to put a twist on it. I don't like tinned spaghetti anymore. I used to like it as a child, but I don't know if they've changed or if it's just my palate has developed over the years. I can't stand it. I just think it's slimy and gross. So I don't know, as a twist, I have no idea what you'd even do as a twist to make that. I'll have to give it some thought. Dyke 9, I think it was. What is your favourite chocolate bar or candy? I think I've answered this before. Basically, I kind of go through phases. Like, I don't have something... My favourites don't tend to sort of stay the same forever. I tend to sort of change them quite regularly. And I'm going through a favourite thing for a block of chocolate here in Australia called Cadbury Snack. And basically, they're like cream-filled chocolates in a block, but each one's a different flavour. And so I think there's like a pineapple flavour, there's a strawberry flavour, there's a coconut flavour, there's a caramel flavour. They've got all sorts of different flavours in amongst these little bits of the chocolate. And I'm going through a favourite thing with that at the moment. But yeah. And anything from Reese's, like the Reese's peanut butter cups or anything like that, because, yeah, I don't know what it is. Chocolate and peanut butter just really go well together. I don't know why. Fresra, what job do you have now? Where do you get your ideas for recipes? Would you live stream coffee time? Okay, this is my job, making YouTube videos and making cooking videos specifically on the other channel. I work full-time from home running the One Pot Chef Show channel. Where do you get your ideas for your recipes? Some of them are my own ones, some of them are basically adaptations of things that my friends have done. I've got a massive bookshelf filled with cookbooks and magazines and clippings and articles and newspaper bits and stuff like that, which have got all sorts of recipes which I use for inspiration. I I'll find a recipe in a magazine or something and I go, that looks really nice, but that's not the way I do it. I do this and take this out and add this and do that. And so I tend to sort of adapt things that I see that look interesting, or like even just looking at a recipe in a book, it'll give me an inspiration and go, oh, this sort of tuna and thingy, whatever. Not really fussed on what they've done, but you know what? Tuna's given me an idea. I bet I could do this entirely different recipe with tuna and blah, blah, blah. So I use them all for inspiration and I tend to sort of come up with things on the fly. That, and of course I get a lot of requests from people sort of saying, can you please make this? And so I'll often do some research and see if I can find a good recipe for it. What was the other question? Would you live stream coffee time? Actually, that was what inspired coffee time to begin with. I used to do a live streaming thing on Blog TV, and I stopped doing it because A, the website was really unstable and it was really difficult to maintain doing a broadcast on there. But then also There was a real big problem with trolls. Like when you're doing something live, I really needed a moderator or someone on there to sort of look after the people who are in the actual chat room and everything like that, because it's so difficult to try and talk and read comments and try and get rid of people who are being offensive and all this stuff all at the same time. And I was just like, meh, can't be bothered. I'll just do it like this. And this works for me. So, Miss Loud Laugh, what star sign are you and how are you so happy all the time? Love watching Coffee Time. It brightens my day. Okay, I'm an Aquarius. I always wanted to be a Sagittarius, you know, sort of half man, half horse, licensed shit in the street. Inappropriate. Where do you get your ideas? Oh no, sorry, that was the wrong question there. And how are you happy all the time? I'm heavily medicated. No, I don't know. I'm not happy all the time. You just see me when I'm happy on videos. Like, trust me, I can be almost average sometimes. What am I talking about? Okay, Pearly Pop has posted about 70,000 questions, so let's have a look at this. Personally, would you prefer, hugs or kisses? Hugs. I mean, who doesn't love a good hug? I mean, everyone's a good hugger. Well, not everyone's a good kisser, so I would say nice big cuddles, they work for me. If you could understand any other language other than English, what would that language be? For example, maybe because you've always been fascinated by the way the language is spoken, or perhaps because a lot of people around you speak the language and you don't understand it, causing you to become frustrated. Pretty much everyone around me speaks English, so it's not really a major issue on that point. I've always been fascinated by German, only because everything in German has 47 letters in it, for no reason. Like, I don't even know why I know this, and I don't even know if it's actually accurate or not, but cufflinks, the things that go on your shirt there, cufflinks, in German is mein Scheppenknopfer. Like, it's 47 letters, for God's sake, for cufflinks! Like, and everything in German is like that. It's very strange. Like, I just don't get that. So, yeah, that probably German would be the one to have a go with. I would like to know how to speak German, but I don't think I will ever learn. I'm too old and too set in my ways to start learning other languages. I barely speak English. Another one from Pearly Pop. What is the one thing you always thought was cool but others beg to differ? My taste in music. My God, my taste in music is weird. I can listen to classical music and disco all in the same playlist. It's very, very strange. Yeah, but no one has ever seemed to sort of glommed onto my sort of unique choice of tunes. My iTunes could frighten you, I tell you what. I was listening to the Glee soundtrack and Captain and Tennille last night. What a weird combination. Anyway, who's the person in your life, not family, that affected you greatly? I don't know. Not family. God, that really sort of cuts a lot of people out, doesn't it? I'll come back to that one. I'll have a think. If there was one thing that you could change about yourself, what would it be? E.g., maybe you could get a bit too emotional at times, so you'd like to change that part of you. What would I like to change about myself? I don't know. Maybe I could be a little less pretty. What a dumbass thing to say, David. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with who I am. I mean, I could probably do with a little better health these days, but yeah, yes, a functional spinal column that isn't dissolving. That would be fun. Probably go with that one. Yeah, they'll go for that one. Pearly Pop again. What are the 3 things that you think are the most important factors of a great relationship? Trust, fidelity, and really good sense of humour. Everything else falls into place when you've got those 3. Have you played any computer games or just games in general as a child, and maybe now too? What games did you play a lot? I don't really play many computer games these days. I did have a Nintendo 64 when I was younger. When it first came out, I got Mario 64, Mario Kart, GoldenEye. Used to love those games. I played them like crazy when I was a kid. Yeah, but not so much these days. I'm not really into modern computer games. It all seems to be sort of, I don't know, Call of Duty, Special Ops, bloody rubbish. Like, it's all the same sort of shoot 'em up sort of stuff, but like endlessly complicated ones. So, yeah, I miss the simplicity of games. So, if there was one type of insect that would forever get demolished from the surface of the earth, what insect would it be? Oh, easy, hands down, cockroaches. Hate them. Hate them, wouldn't want to date them. Can't stand the bastards. I've actually just had to have the house sprayed because it's coming into summer here in Australia and the cockroaches are massing. So went and got the whole place bombed and sprayed and some weird copper stuff thrown in the roof and everything. Cost a bloody fortune, but we're going to be cockroach free for 6 months, so I can live with that. Let's see. Sunset Eyes 80. Is there anything you cannot cook? I've learned so much from you. Do you know, it's funny. Up until recently, my answer would have been scones, but then I discovered this recipe for scones that just is absolutely fail-proof and it works every single time. Trying to think what I can't cook. I've never been terribly successful with Japanese stuff like sushi or anything. I think it's just that I've never really sort of felt the overwhelming need to do it. Like, I'm not a big fan of Japanese cuisine, especially sushi and things, but, so it's not really inspired me to sort of learn how to do it properly, but, no, I think like most things, unless it's something ludicrously complicated, pretty much everyone can cook if they've got the right recipe and the right instructions. So, that being said, I'm definitely not a pastry chef, like, especially actually making pastry, like, sort of is one of my sort of weak points there. I can do it, it just frustrates the hell out of me and I don't like doing it, so I try to avoid it wherever possible. Oh, Pearly Pop again. Oh, God, you posted a lot of questions, haven't you? What did you want to become as a child? I'm not really sure, to be honest. I don't remember. I don't remember having any specific sort of, I want to be a fireman type thing or anything like that. I don't know. I don't think I've ever had any specific plans in my childhood, so I'm not really sure. Yeah, I don't know. What type of person can you not handle? For example, a non-punctual person or an ignorant person, etc. I can't stand people who just talk about nothing. Like, I am one of those people who is quite happy to sit in silence, and if I've got nothing to say, I can do that. But when people literally just sit there rabbiting on about absolutely nothing. I remember on my way back from Brisbane, I was on a bus, and I had to be on this bus for like 3.5 hours to get to where I was going, and I was sat next to these two people who literally sat there for 3.5 hours talking about nothing. Like, it was sort of, the two guys were sitting there and it was like, oh, look at that dog. And the other one would go, oh, yes, I once had a dog. And the other one goes, really? I used to have a dog too. And then it would expand even more to sort of like, yes, my friend has a dog, it's dead. Yes, I had a dog that was dead once. And it would just keep going. And they bounced off each other, feeding off this irrelevant nonsense. And I was just there tearing my hair out going, would you shut up for 5 seconds? And it just, yeah, 3.5 hours of them just rabbiting on about nothing. And, like, it drives me crazy. Like, seriously, it is not a crime to sort of sit in silence. Not every moment has to be filled with talking. So that would probably be my answer. Do you think I asked way too many questions? Yes, but that's the point, isn't it? I mean, like, I think it's good. You can't have too many questions, I suppose. Dave 80W. Hope you are well. Where would you go for your dream holiday? Also, do you get tired of people asking the same questions over and over, especially when you've answered them in the video you just made? Not really, because half the time I can't remember what I've answered because what are we up to? 15? I think this is the 15th coffee time, so I can't remember what I've answered, what I haven't. So and I think if you go back, you'll probably find I've answered each question. Like if I've answered the same question more than once, I've probably given a totally different answer every time. Not that I'm deceptive or anything. It's just I'm very sort of changeable. Dream holiday. Do you know I've actually caught the travel bug recently? Ever since I went to Perth, I really feel the overwhelming need to do some sort of travelling around because I haven't done travelling for ages. I'm going up to Brisbane in about a month or two for the YouTube gathering in Brisbane in November. But, yeah, I don't know. Dream holiday. Probably somewhere sort of quiet and sunny, like, I don't know, some sort of nice little beach on an island where phones are forbidden and there's no internet to interrupt me. That would be awesome. Yeah, send me to the Lost Island. That would be fun. Groshoni1, I hope I said that right. Coles, Woolworths, Aldi and IGA. Thoughts on the stores would be pretty cool too. Okay, for those outside of Australia, Coles, Woolworths, Aldi and IGA are supermarkets here in Australia. I tend to do all my shopping at Coles and Aldi, mainly because they are the closest ones to me. With the sort of basic stuff getting at Aldi because, like, it's about 50% cheaper and it's decent quality. And everything I can't get at Aldi, I go and get from Coles. Woolworths, I don't like them that much. I think they're really sort of, yeah. And IGA, I never really shopped at IGA. Like, there's a couple nearby, but I've never actually gone to them because they're not really sort of conveniently located. So, yeah. Oh, Dave ADW, do you go out to restaurants much? In particular, any particular cuisine, Chinese or Italian? Do you like to replicate dishes you have? Don't really go to restaurants a lot these days. I did used to, but I think in the last couple of years when money's been a bit tight and whatnot, it was one of the things that got sacrificed was going out to restaurants a lot. That being said, I do like to go to this noodle place that I've discovered actually just around the corner from my house, and they serve all sorts of different types of Asian cuisine, and they've got this amazing wonton soup. These beautiful little pork wontons in a chicken broth, and it's got bean sprouts and all sorts of bits in it, and beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I can't say I try to replicate the dishes when I get home. Like, I think one of the things I like about sort of going to a restaurant or getting something like that is that I don't have to cook, so I don't want to sort of inspire myself to cook more if I'm going to a restaurant. So I don't know if I can't think of a time where I've tried to replicate a dish, but definitely sort of Asian cuisine, probably Chinese as being the preference. I haven't been to a good Italian restaurant for a very long time. I haven't found one because, like, a lot of them sort of I don't know, there seems to be a lot of really dodgy Italian restaurants around where I live. They're not very good quality, and they use sort of cheap frozen pasta instead of making their own, and you think sort of like for the amount of money you're paying that they would make their own pasta. But yeah, so that's something I think I'm going to have to start doing more, is going out to restaurants and things. I like Cookie88. Hello. What kind of extravagant coffee would you get as a treat? I like vanilla iced coffee, nom nom. I think my favourite at the moment is, and I get this from Gloria Jean's, and I get so much crap from people to go, oh, why do you get Gloria Jean's coffee? It's rubbish. I think it's wonderful. But they have this one thing. It's a mocha caramel latte. So it's chocolate, it's coffee, and it's caramel all in one. It is an incredible sugar buzz. It is really, really delicious, and it's really, really rich. And I get it now and again when I feel I need a bit of a buzz and a pickup. And, oh, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And it's got, like, caramel swirl on top. Yum. Barney Whitehall. Why are we called Potters? Sorry, only been subscribed a few weeks. It's a bit of a running joke. yeah, because it's the One Pot Chef, and somebody I mentioned in a video ages ago that I really should sort of. I wish that everyone who watches my videos had like some kind of a collective name, because I don't like the idea of calling people viewers or fans or something like that. And somebody jokingly said that they should be called Potters, and I thought it was funny because it sounded like sort of Harry Potter type thing, and so like it sort of stuck. And so yeah, when I upload a new cooking video, I tend to start a little comment by saying "Hello, Potters." So that's what it is. So it's nothing particularly deep and involved. It's just a funny pun, but sort of seems to have stuck. Bling Banana, do you have any gaming equipment such as a DS or an iPod? Not really, not anymore. I've got my iPad and my iPhone, which I have a few games on there, but I can't say I really use them for games much. I did have a DS years ago, but never got around to replacing it. It sort of just wasn't a priority at the time. Bling Banana, what car do you drive? I have a beat-up old Mitsubishi Magna that, like her driver, is a stubborn old bitch that doesn't do what she should do. But what's the old saying? She doesn't get you where you want to be, but she gets you where you need to go. that would be a good definition of Maggie, my little car. But yeah, really should sort of take a picture of the car sometime, because I haven't got any pictures of my car. I had some of my old one, but not the current one. I love top 1, 2, 3, 4. What would your perfect last meal be? I don't know. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I've never really sort of understood these like last meal type questions, because like it sort of presumes that I'm about to be put on trial for mass murder and executed. So I don't know. If I'm going to be a mass murderer, maybe human flesh should be my last meal. Actually, that'd be really funny, wouldn't it? So, like, yeah, what would you like for your last meal? Human flesh, and they have to provide it. And that's just what he wants, so we have to give it to him. Shit. Okay, we'll put down human flesh, just because, like, hell, if it's my last meal, I should at least get to try it. Because I've been told people taste like chicken. I'd like to know once and for all if that was true. I can't believe I'm confessing to possible cannibalism. What is in this water? My brain hurts. Let's move on from cannibalism for a bit, shall we? What was your worst restaurant experience? Without doubt, it's got to be that god-awful revolving restaurant on the Gold Coast in Queensland. Holy crap! Not only did it give me food poisoning, it gave me motion sickness at the same time. That is not a fun combination, people. Trust me. That was really an awful night. I won't even go into the details of just how awful that was, but suffice it to say, it was not entertaining. It certainly wasn't entertaining for anyone to clean up the bathroom in the hotel afterwards. Okay, M&Diddleton 1980, maybe? I don't know. MNDYDLTN. I have no idea what that is. What is your favourite dessert and coffee of all time? I think we kind of covered that with the coffee. Favourite dessert, probably my mother's lemon cheesecake. Would have to be that one. I mean, there really is no topping it. It's sublime. It's creamy, it's rich, it's got that tanginess to it. It's bad for your teeth. I mean, what more do you want? Gadgets forever. Why are your eyes so beautiful? Do you know, I get a lot of people saying about my eyes, saying that they're so unusual and they're so beautiful. I just always thought they're blue eyes. Maybe it's just me. I don't know what the sort of issue is. Why are my eyes so beautiful? I don't know. They just are. It's like the pirate. Why are pirates called pirates? Because they are. What has that got to do with anything? Yeah, I don't know. I got my mother's eyes, so I would say blame her. DiGiorno pizza. What place do you feel the happiest? I don't know. Probably just cuddled up in bed, sort of relaxed. That would be the happiest place, I think. But then again, just looking over the ocean or something like that at Crackneck Point, featured in a couple of videos on this channel somewhere. It's just beautiful, awe-inspiring sight. So it's hard not to feel happy there, except for maybe the suicidal people who jump off it occasionally. But then again, you can't please everyone. Now I'm making suicide jokes! Oh my god, what the hell is in this water? 100% natural spring water. Better have some just in case. Maybe it's LSD. So we've had cannibalism and suicide jokes. My god. We're only like half an hour into this, aren't we? Will you show us a picture of yourself as a child? Okay, I'll put one up. It should be noted this is taken completely out of context and should not be sort of considered to be anything else, and it's actually the only childhood picture I have of myself. My darling sister sent it to me recently as a humorous reminder of how things sort of play up. So, yeah, this is a picture of me. I think I'm about maybe 6 months old, maybe a little older, and again, taken out of context. Yeah, some things never change. Lollyhimmy66. I have no idea if I even said that remotely correct. Are you an avid tea drinker? If so, what is your favourite? Also, frying slices of Spam goes nicely with eggs and toast with ketchup. That must be a reference to something in the last video. Okay. Avid tea drinker. I wouldn't say I'm an avid tea drinker. I drink tea now and again. And when I do, it's usually Earl Grey or a lemon tea or something like that. But I probably drink tea maybe 2, 3, 4 times a year at most. I used to drink tea a lot, but I kind of went off it. And yeah, I'm more of a coffee drinker now. Lickle Ginger. Are you interested in food history? If so, what period of history style of retro food would you most like to update in one pot style? Do you know, I've got a lot of my mother's old cookbooks, and during the 1980s, she sort of went absolutely crazy getting cookbooks from everywhere, and a lot of them are very 1980s influence, and they are the kitschest, campest, most retro sort of recipes. Like, I'd be embarrassed to make some of these recipes because they're just so very sort of out of date and really, really sort of weird. So, that being said, it's fun to go through them, but I don't think there's any there that I'd really want to replicate for the show. I just sort of... Like, I remember there's one with an avocado cocktail, and it's half an avocado with the seed taken out, served in a glass. It's very, very strange. Like I can't imagine serving that at a cocktail party or at a dinner party these days. People would look at you like you'd lost your mind, but... apparently back in the 1980s that was quite a she dish, so who knows? Tiffany Howe. I've recently started a no-carb, low-carb diet, oh you poor dear, and find it hard to find dishes that I can make for me and my husband. Do you have a favourite low-carb meal? Honey, I do not subscribe to this weird low-carb thing. I don't get it. I've had several friends go on these low-carb and no-carb diets, and almost every single time, the exact same thing has happened to every one of them, is that they have felt phenomenal for about 3 days, and then they crash. They absolutely just lose energy, they lose vitality, they lose any kind of sense of humour they had, and they just go, bang, nosedive into the ground. And they feel like utter crap, they feel run down, and I've never understood what it is, because like in the end, like I can understand sort of trying to keep down carbohydrate intake and stuff like that, but when you cut it out entirely, especially if you're somebody who's eaten a fair amount of carbs in your regular diet, it can absolutely shock your body. Your body has no idea what you've done, and it's like I feel great for a few days and then I'm sad now. So yeah, I can't say I have any sort of low-carb recipes. Well, I might possibly do, but to be honest, I've never really sort of given much thought as to whether or not they are low carb or not. I just make stuff because it tastes nice, or because it looks pretty, or because people have requested it. But I don't know. I think maybe it's sort of... There are a lot of websites out there who sort of cater to low carb cooking and no carb cooking and stuff like that. But as I say, I think it's a fad. Like a lot of these diets. Like I remember back in the 1980s, I went on a diet. What was it? There was a thing where you're not allowed to eat protein and carbohydrates in the same dish, and so like you had to eat the meat on a separate plate by itself, and then half an hour later you could have the vegetables, and it was just like, it was stupid and it didn't make any sense. And I think that maybe this low carb thing might actually just be an extension of some of those weirdo diets that they had back then. But if it depends, if you're trying to like lose weight, your better option is to simply reduce your portion sizes and just increase your physical activity. I mean, admittedly, I'm not exactly a diet guru, but the reason I'm overweight like I am is mainly from my lack of activity, because I've got a spinal injury. I can't go and jog around the block. I can't do star jumps or run or bike and things like that. I just can't do it. I physically can't do it anymore. But if you are physically active, if you can sort of basically just increase the amount of physical activity you do, reduce your portions control, well, reduce your portion sizes, and just be a bit more sensible with your diet, you'll probably find that the weight will just come off like that. So good luck. Hope you have fun. Hope you do well, and let us know later if you're having success, if anything I said made any sense. Scottish Lad 83. If you could trade vocations for 30 days, what would it be? What is the most vivid, realistic dream nightmare you've ever had? Keep up the good work. Most vivid, realistic dream or nightmare you've ever had? I don't really dream, or if I do, I don't remember them. Yeah, I never remember my dreams. So, like, either I don't dream and I'm like some kind of clinical psychopath, which is possible. I mean, sort of, let's face it, I've already referenced cannibalism and suicide in this video, so let's add psychopath to the list, shall we? Yeah, so I just don't remember my dreams, so I don't know. If I could trade vocations for 30 days, what would it be? I don't know. Is being Channing Tatum's underpants a vocation? Because if it's not, it bloody well will be, and I'll choose that. God, I'm a slut. Mboy1100, One-Pot Chef, why are you so awesome? I don't know, we're back to the awesome thing again, like the eyes. I don't know. I don't think I am, but who am I to disagree with popular opinion? Actually, I disagree with popular opinion all the time. Oh well, it's in my favour, so whatever. I have no idea. Mark Waters 306. Greetings all the way from Scotland. We love your accent, but for a challenge, could you please try your best at a Scottish accent saying the phrase, "That's not how you make risotto"? And shout out to Andy and Mark, your biggest Scottish fans. Hello, Andy and Mark. My mother is going to be spinning in her grave for what I'm about to do. That's not how you make risotto. I'm sorry, Mum. Oh, no. That is the worst Scottish accent ever. That's bloody groundskeeper Willie times 1,000. My God. Oh, dear. Like, my Scottish genes are shrinking as we speak. Oh, dear. Bling Banana. Oh, hello again. Have you ever met one of your fans while you're outside? It's happened occasionally. It usually happens when I'm at the supermarket. I'll be sort of grabbing ingredients or something, and someone will sort of look at me funny from across the way, and they'll come up and sort of go, "Are you the One-Pot Chef?" And I'll go, "Yes." They go, "Oh, I love your videos." Although, the one time it did happen, it sort of mortifies me to this day, is that this woman was looking at me while I was sort of fondling onions, trying to find a nice onion. And she sort of come up to me and she's gone, "Are you the One-Pot Chef?" And I'm sort of going, "Yeah." And she's gone, "I prefer Nico." And then she's walked off. And I'm just like, "Oh, you bitch!" It's like, pardon me for not being Nico. God. Oh dear, that was such a terrible day. I was just like, who would say that? That's very weird. Emu Unlim. If you could exchange bodies with any YouTuber for one day, who would you be and what would you post on their channel? I would probably... This is going to sound so weird, and why. I would probably choose Natalie Tran from Community Channel. And I would do it simply because her fans have been screaming out for her to show them how to make lamingtons for years. And she's never done it. So I would take over her body and bake lamingtons just to shut her fans up and satisfy them. Because I know she'll never do it. Dark Water Dragon Angel. Hello, One Pot Chef. Would you ever eat bacon cupcakes? I've never quite understood where this whole sort of putting bacon in weird things thing has come from. Bacon cupcakes. I've eaten savoury cupcakes before and savoury muffins, and to be honest, meh, like I'm not that fussed. I made bacon bread on the cooking channel a couple of weeks ago, or probably a couple of months ago now, and that went crazy. All the bacon freaks came out of the woodwork going, bacon, 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 bacon. So maybe I should do bacon cupcakes. That would be entertaining. Peace Frog 1916. Can you sit on your own face? I can. You can sit on your own face? I cannot sit on my own face, but if you can sit on your own face, please send pictures, because I would love to see that. That is very, very, very bendy. I would like to see that one. Andy Maxwell Andy. Hi David, just curious about how you prefer beetroot, full balls or sliced or shredded and ready to go. P.S. What is your opinion on David Wenham? He gets a big thumbs up from where I'm sitting. I have no idea who David Wenham is. I don't know. I'll look him up. Hang on a minute. Google.com. Images. David Wenham. Oh, Diver Dan! Oh, okay. I haven't seen him in much for a while. Okay, now I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he's alright. Yeah, Diver Dan. Okay. Yeah, I can't think of what else he's been in recently. I remember him being in Diver Dan in Sea Change many, many years ago, but yeah. As for beetroot, I'm not really a big beetroot fan. I'm not that fussed on it. I think it's mainly because I'm petrified of accidentally dropping it while I'm eating it and staining everything. So, if it's in something mixed into it, I probably wouldn't mind so much. But yeah, I can't say I'm a big fan. Maggie12310. Hello, Maggie. David, what is your favourite piece of cooking equipment that you would use almost every day? And what would you recommend as your top 5 must-have essentials for anyone starting up a kitchen for the first time? Also, what are your essential cooking ingredients that you think every kitchen should have? And what is your favourite movie of all time? Love to listen to you chat and have a warm heart and friendly smile. Oh, thank you. Wow, that's a lot of questions. Okay, so what was favourite movie of all time? I don't know. Probably... I don't know. I really like Thelma and Louise. I don't know if it's my inner feminist coming out or not, but I really love that film. I don't know. I've got too many favourite movies, so I'm not really sure what my all-time favourite would be. Okay, favourite piece of cooking equipment that I would use almost every day. It was a gift from my sister, and she gave it to me. It's a rotary cheese grater, and it is the most phenomenally brilliant thing that has ever been invented by man. I mean, it's better than the Renaissance, seriously. So it's got like a little handle thing there. It's got a barrel that you stick your cheese in, and you rotate the little handle, and it grates the cheese. So you're not there using a cheese grater, scraping your nails and your knuckles and whatnot. You can use it for soft cheese, hard cheese. You can grate chocolate with it. I use it all the time for desserts and stuff, grating chocolate over the top of cakes and things. It's absolutely fantastic, and if you can get your hands on one, trust me, you will love it forever. as for recommend top 5 must-have essentials for anyone starting a kitchen, I think I actually covered that in my first cookbook, because I had a section at the beginning about how to set up your first kitchen and things you should have and things to avoid and all sorts of stuff. But basically, it all depends on what kind of stuff you're looking to cook, really, because, I mean, I recommend having a slow cooker because, like, they are just so useful and they're so easy to use. Like, you just literally bung everything into it, put a lid on, switch it on, and come back to fabulousness. As for cooking ingredients, again, it all depends on the kind of stuff you tend to eat. I tend to always have pasta, rice, couscous, all that sort of stuff in the cupboard all the time. I never run out of it because I always have it. I always like to have things like bacon in the freezer, chopped up into little pieces, so I can always chuck it into something at short notice. I love frozen vegetables because, again, if you've got frozen vegetables, they're very easy to add into pretty much any dish, and because if you're just cooking it on like a stir fry or some kind of a casserole or something, you don't have to wait for them to defrost. You just chuck them in frozen, they'll cook themselves in the thing. I don't know, there's so many different things that you could have. I could talk all day about things in the kitchen, so I don't know. I'm not sure I can give you a top 5 because I'll rabbit on forever. So, but yeah, you get a rough idea. Jill M to Jesus, hello. What do you write on your whiteboard behind you, and what are fry-ups? Okay, fry-ups are basically fried breakfast type things that are bacon, sausage, tomato, eggs, that sort of thing, and it's sort of, yeah, that's just a name for that, basically. The whiteboard behind me here is what I call the big board, and I got it recently, and essentially it's my plan for what I'm doing on the cooking channel for the next month or so. So what recipes I'm making, what I've made, what needs to be recorded, what hasn't been recorded yet. It also has reminders of when coffee time is due, and it's been haunting me for the last couple of weeks. Any sort of meetings that I've got related to YouTube I have written up on the board as well. So occasionally if I bob my head like this, you might get a little glimpse of what I'm doing in the next month or so, but I'd imagine it's not sort of clear enough to actually see what it says there. So yeah, but that's basically what it is. I bought it, I think it was like $10 or something. It was cheap, but it's really helped me to get organised with the cooking channel, because otherwise I was just all over the place. I had no idea what was coming up and when, and really frees me up to sort of see where I've got holes in the schedule, or sort of like, oh, okay, I've got 2 similar recipes close together, I'll swap them around and things like that. Hardcore Glamour 01. Have you and your partner been together long? Okay, basically 9 years we've been together. I think our 10th anniversary is next year, so yeah, just this side of death. No, we've been together for 9 years, and it's been good. Very, very lovely relationship. Share 00. If you could open your own restaurant, what type of food would it offer? I would never open my own restaurant. I'm telling you now, I'm happy being a home cook. I couldn't imagine doing it as a full-time job, like actually cooking in an industrial kitchen like all day. It would kill me stone dead. I just couldn't do that. I'm happy working at my own pace at home. Let's see. Have you ever met someone from the north of England? This is Worsley 101. Have you ever met someone from the north of England? I'll be heading to Oz, travelling in a few weeks' time, and I'm conscious that no one will understand a word I say because I have a very broad accent and that most people from the south of England struggle to grasp. Okay, yes, I have. In fact, I live with someone from the north of England, my mother-in-law. So, yeah, she's got a fairly broad accent at times as well, and the best advice I can give you is people from the north tend to have a natural predilection to speaking very fast, and it often makes your accent a bit more difficult to understand. My advice is to try to curb the speed of how you talk. So try to slow it down a little bit, and you shouldn't have any major issues. I think you'll be fine. And if anyone sort of looks at you and goes, like that, it probably means you're speaking too fast. So I think you'll be right. Enjoy your holiday. Amy Agur, what is your all-time favourite YouTuber? I am so not answering that because I'll be ripped apart by everyone who I didn't name. So I know too many YouTubers. They'll all go, why did you say me, you bitch? Isaac XP. My name is Isaac. I'm 17 and from the United States. I've been thinking about doing my own cooking show and want to ask you for some tips that can help me, like how you edit your videos, how long did it take for YouTubers to notice you, what kind of camera do you use, do you like experimenting randomly with food, and name 5 of your favourite genres of music. Thank you, David. You're awesome. Wow, that's a lot of questions. Okay. Well, good on you for thinking about doing your own cooking show. We could always use more cooking shows on YouTube, and it should be fun to see what you come up with. I edit my videos. I don't do anything terribly complicated because I don't have like special effects or green screen or anything like that, so I just use iMovie. I don't use anything fancy schmancy. I don't spend hundreds of dollars on expensive editing sort of suites or anything like that because I don't really need it. Yeah, I highly recommend, if you're planning to do videos on a regular basis, something like iMovie, like a Mac, is absolutely guaranteed to make it that much easier. I'm sure a lot of people out there in PC land will be going, oh, but we've got this, that, and the other. I have never used a simpler and better video editing suite than iMovie. It's simple, it point and click, anyone can use it, and it makes your videos just look gorgeous. And I don't think there's anything on PC even remotely comes close to its simplicity, so that's a definite. How long did it take for YouTubers to notice you? I'm not really sure. I mean, like, when I first started the cooking channel, I mean, I put my first video up and I got something like 200 views overnight. But that being said, at the time, there were no other cooking channels in Australia. I was the first, and it was something new and off the scale, sort of very, very original, and it started to spread fairly quickly. That being said, these days, you've got things like Facebook and Twitter and Google Plus and all these other social networking platforms which really weren't very active at the time when I first started making videos. So if your content is good, if it's enjoyable, if you make something really beautiful, people will share it and it will go from there. So what kind of camera do you use? I use a Sony HD PJ760, I think it is called. It's pretty high-end camera, but it's very simple to use. That being said, pretty much you could use any camera as long as it's HD, as long as it's you've got a decent bit of lighting in your kitchen when you're cooking. You don't need to have any sort of professional lighting rigs or anything like that, but just lots of light to bring out the best in the food. It really helps. Do I like experimenting randomly with food? Yeah, I tend to sort of do all sorts of little things. Like I'll sort of see what's left over in the fridge and go, what can I do with this, this, and this? 3 random ingredients, and I'll have a go and see what comes out. 5 of your favourite genres of music. Disco, 70s, 80s. I don't know. Classical and... oh, goodness, I don't know. Maybe a bit of opera. I don't know. I'm a bit sort of... I'm a bit eclectic. I've got all sorts of different sort of tastes. But, I don't know. It's hard to pick favourites on that one. Sam Chef 18. Are you thinking of starting a theme with your cooking videos like Nico's Kitchen is doing? A theme with your cooking videos. I don't know what you mean by the theme. Do you mean like sort of doing like a week of certain types of videos, like sort of Cupcake Week or whatever? Or do you mean like the theme, like a musical theme with like a theme song? Like, if you mean that, no, probably not. As for like a cooking theme type thing, I do them occasionally. I try not to do them too often because people get bored with them really quickly. So I just tend to sort of... I like doing bits and pieces all over the place because it makes things sort of a bit different, so no one knows exactly what's coming. God, we've been doing this for an hour now. God, I'm never doing coffee time late again. I can't believe I'm so far behind on this. Okay, have you drunk L&P before from Mega Changara? Have you ever been to New Zealand? I have no idea what L&P is, so no, I've not drunk it. Have you been to New Zealand? No, but it's on my list. I would love to go and visit New Zealand. I hear it's absolutely beautiful over there. Love to go and sort of explore. It would be fun to go over there. Alpha Kitten. I remember you saying you are of Scottish descent. What are your memories of Scotland? If you came back for a wee holiday, what parts of the country would you like to visit? I've never been to Scotland. My mother was Scottish, and I was actually supposed to go on a trip with her when I was a child, but I can't remember what happened, but I think there was a death in the family or something, and so I ended up not going with her. She ended up going by herself. But I would love to go to Scotland. I'd love to go and sort of... It's sad, actually, because all the places that my mum grew up in no longer exist. Glasgow has changed quite radically since when she was a child, so all the sort of streets and venues and places that she used to go to simply do not exist anymore. They've been sort of knocked down and built over and changed God knows how many times since she was a child, so it would be fun to go and have a wander around, though. Myers Memories Crafts. Another American staple is PB&J, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Is this common in Australia? Absolutely. I used to eat it all the time as a kid, and I'm pretty sure people eat a lot these days, so yeah. Jill M. DeJesus again. Your lemon cheesecake recipe has been viewed almost 900,000 times. Really? My God. Can you believe so many people have watched your recipes? It's really remarkable when you add the number of views on your total videos. What is it like for you? I honestly had no idea it was that high. Last time I sort of had a look at it, I think it was like 400,000. So, my God, nearly 1 million views on that. Jesus, that really throws me. I don't know. I just keep making these videos, and I just do it for fun, and sort of, if they're successful, they're successful. But like, I'm glad the lemon cheesecake is successful, because that was Mum's recipe, and it was a tribute to her. So I think that's wonderful. Deb276. How do you deal with nonsensical comments? Do you just ignore them? If you mean like sort of people who ask sort of incomprehensible questions about the cooking videos, yeah, I tend to, because I have no idea what on earth they're talking about. Like, or if it's something that's actually answered in the video, like the number of times where I've sort of said, yes, use such and such an ingredient, and they'll actually sort of say, what was that ingredient you used at whatever time? And I'm there going, you can watch the video again. You can go back and look at it. Like, it's right there, and there's an ingredients list in the thing. Like, what more do you want? So, like, yeah, I try to ignore them, because, like, I get bombarded with, like, something like, oh, God, I don't know. I'd have to be somewhere well over 1,000 comments every day coming into the cooking channel. So it's unrealistic for me to reply to every single one, but I do try to reply to as many questions as possible. But when they're questions that have already been answered 1,000 times, or if they're questions that simply don't make any sense, yeah, there's no point in me responding. I sort of do my best, but sometimes people just have to sort of do a bit of research for themselves. Like, somebody asked me the other day, where can I get sweetened condensed milk in, I don't know, some random country like Nicaragua or something, and I'm there going, I don't live in Nicaragua, how the hell would I know? Do a Google search. Like, why are you asking me to do this for you? Peachtree Cuisine. One Pot Chef. Here are 2 questions for you. You're the casting agent on the set of 50 Shades of Grey, and you can cast anyone in the world as Christian. Who do you cast? And 2, once you've casted the sexy dark role of Christian, who would you play? Who would you play for Anna? I have no idea. I honestly, I don't think any answer I could give would be accurate, because everyone would sort of go, no, it should definitely be so-and-so, because I've seen some of the arguments on the internet about this. Like, I know a lot of people are pushing for the daughter from Gilmore Girls. What's her name? Alexis Bledel, I think her name is. Been pushing for her for Anna. And I don't know if I see her as the right Anna on that one. And Christian, everyone's saying about Ian Summermoan, or whatever his name is. I can't remember. The guy from Lost. Him I see as being Christian. He has the Christian look. But yeah, I don't see Rory from Gilmore Girls as being Anna. I don't think she has the right look. But I don't know. I don't know who would. I'm not really up on modern actors and actresses these days, so I'm not really sure. Maddie T, would you consider buying a Thermomix or other expensive kitchen machines? I don't know what a Thermomix is. I've never heard of that one. Must be, is it an American thing? I don't know what that is. As for expensive kitchen machines, I mean, yeah, sometimes they're worth paying. Sometimes it's worth paying a little more for certain equipment, but then sometimes the cheaper article will do the exact same job for less cost. So I don't know. Let's see. OMBBO. Love your videos. I've been looking at your videos and noticed there are no Belgian chocolate tasting videos. How come? Do they sell Belgian chocolate in Australia? They are the best. Greetings from Belgium. Yes, they sell Belgian chocolate in Australia. I just haven't got around to doing Belgian chocolate. I would like to actually get some Belgian chocolate from Belgium. That would actually be nice, and see what the best of Belgian chocolate is. But I would have to see if I could find a stockist. So I'll add that to the list of possibilities for future tasting ones. What do you think about New Zealanders? Hate them all, they should be burned. No. I'm going to get killed. No, I don't know. I'm Australian, so I automatically have to say that New Zealanders are backwards weirdos. But if I take my sort of evil racist attitudes apart, I have actually no opinion on New Zealanders, to be honest. I'm sure they're lovely people. I just haven't really had a lot of contact with any of them. I find their accents very complicated because, like, we actually get the New Zealand news on pay TV here, and I frequently turn it off because half the time I just can't understand what the hell they're talking about. But I'm sure sort of that's just my sort of personal prejudices. But I love this. I love how Australians and New Zealanders have this weird rivalry, and it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But no, I'm sure New Zealanders are lovely people, and all the rumours about them having sex with sheep are completely unjustified. I just had to get that one in. Next question, quick. Mr. Butterworth 24. Sorry if this sounds creepy, but what time do you normally go to bed and wake up? It varies. I have a very weird sleep pattern, to be honest. It's all over the place. Sometimes I'll go to bed early and wake up really early. Sometimes I'll go to bed exceedingly late and wake up late. It's one of the traps of working from home, is that because you don't have a fixed schedule, you can pretty much sort of get up and go to work whenever you want because your work is right here. So who knows? Yeah. Tony the Night Owl. Are you guys having trouble with replies on YouTube? Seems Google has a bug, so while one can use the comment box, you can't reply to other posts. There are some fix vids, but apparently they won't stay fixed. Anyway, I just wanted to say your honesty is very refreshing. You have a good sense of yourself and it shows. Have you had a chance to try the new M&Ms with salty pretzel centre? Yes, I have. I actually tried them about a month or so ago, and I don't know. It must be an American thing. I'm not really big on pretzels, but they're like combining it with an M&M is a very unusual sort of thing. So, yeah. As for the replies on YouTube, they did something to the comments section about a month ago, and replies don't seem to be sort of appearing directly under the comments. They're sort of sometimes popping up at the top for some reason. So, I don't know. They're constantly fixing the comment section, and I wish they'd just frickin' stop it and leave it be for a while, because every time they fix it, they seem to make it even more impossible to use. So, who knows? Motor City James 100. Hey, One Pot Chef, have you ever been to the United States? No, I'd love to go and visit though. I might possibly be going there sometime soon. Can't really say anything at the moment, but don't really know. Maybe sometime soon, maybe not. I guess it depends on certain circumstances and stars aligning, so I love being cryptic. Yeah, I'd love to go to the United States. I'd love to go to LA. I'd love to go to New York. I'd love to just do the sort of, maybe do a sort of like a road trip across the country. It would be great to sort of see as much of it as possible. 101% cotton. Are you a big coffee fanatic? Hello, I've got a chat show called Coffee Time. If you are, then you should try Ethiopian coffee. I'm from America and love this stuff, and there is only one place that I can get it. You should try it. Warning, it will keep you awake for hours. Yeah, Ethiopian coffee. I haven't tried that. Sounds interesting, though. I might see if I can find a stockist. I wouldn't mind trying it. Sandon Godwin Welch. Hi, David. Just signed up with YouTube. Love your vids. Find them very relaxing. What are your views and opinions on the 2012 phenomenon and theories that the world may end this year? Also, what is the cheesiest line you ever heard in a movie? And lastly, what is the most unintentionally funny movie you've seen and why? 2012 thing, it's a load of crap. It's based on pseudoscience and dodgy archaeology. It's a load of rubbish. Like, the idea that the Mayans were able to predict the end of our civilization when they couldn't predict the end of their own damn civilization is utter rubbish. It's just another example of when a really poorly trained archaeologist makes a wild guess and a leap about something that they clearly don't understand, and then everyone's just glommed onto it. So I think, that being said, if the world ends, like, well, what can you do? It's going to happen, so whatever. But I find it highly unlikely that the Mayans would have had anything to do with it, so or would have known anything about it. Cheesiest line in a movie. Oh, don't they always say, "Let's get out of here" in every single movie? They've got that line is probably the most said line in movies. What is the most unintentionally funny movie you have ever seen and why? Have you seen Xanadu? Holy crap, that is funny, but it's not meant to be. That is just, yeah, the costumes and the dementedly cheesiness of it is just absolutely wonderful. I love it. Vitamins. Yeah, so if you haven't seen Xanadu, Olivia Newton-John as a roller skating goddess, like, please, you've got to love it. Zushling? Have you ever thought of doing food-based challenges like fastest omelette or quiz cups? I don't know what a quiz cup is. Fastest omelette, not really. I'm not really fussed on sort of challenge type things like that. I just sort of do what I do and do it in my own time and relax into it. That being said, I'm actually bloody awful at making omelettes. Every time I make them, they tend to turn into scrambled eggs. So, not sure. Big World Famous. If there is something you hate about uploading videos, what would it be? When I have to upload a really big video like Coffee Time, and this particular one is now already the longest one I've ever done, but if you're trying to upload a huge video and then something happens and the upload fails, you then have to go all the way back to the beginning and start again. It's a bastard, because like I hate that, because like I've got a particularly slow internet connection thanks to living in this dump hole of Australia. You're like, hurry up, national broadband network, so I can actually do an upload at decent speed. But it can take hours and hours and hours to upload a video this size, like 8, 9, 10, 11 hours sometimes. And so, yeah, if it fails halfway through and you don't realise it, you've then got to start all over again. And so it might be another day before the video goes up. So that I really hate. Big World Famous again. Do you love cinnamon? I love cinnamon. I might have to skip a few maybe. Oh, not too far off actually. I've only got a few more left. So, Motor City James 100. Where were you when you first heard about 9/11? Well, I was at home. It was about, I think it was about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night Australian time, and they did a crossover because they said that a plane had crashed into a skyscraper in New York, and they went to a live feed, and that was when we saw the second plane hit, and it was just like, holy crap, that wasn't an accident, because we were sort of going, oh, that's a terrible accident first, and that was how it was being reported, as this horrible accident of a plane crashing into a skyscraper, and then when they did the live crossover and this other plane just suddenly crashed into it, people were just like, you could see the people on television were just dumbstruck, and they're sort of going, okay, not an accident. And like, I've never seen a news show so unprepared for something before, because it was just, it flummoxed them, and like they were just sort of going, okay, what the hell do we say now? What do we do? Like, oh my God. And that was when they broke with the regular transmission. They just went to a live feed from, I think it was CNN or something like that. Anyway, happy thoughts though. F1 Dino, who is your favourite celebrity? I don't know. I'm not really sort of a celebrity sort of follower, really, so I don't really know. I'm not sure. I don't really sort of follow sort of celebrity culture, so I don't know how to answer that one. So Mantramalal. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. In what recipes do you use ginger, and where will the One Pot Chef be in 10 years? Kind regards, So Mant. I hope I pronounced your name right there. What recipes do you use ginger? I don't use ginger a lot, to be honest. I did use some ginger in my gingerbread men recently, but beyond that, I don't know. I don't think I use it very often. I use it sometimes when I'm making stir fries or things like that, a little bit of grated ginger. Where will the One Pot Chef be in 10 years? Probably still cooking things on YouTube, hopefully, if YouTube still exists. Yeah, sort of probably still writing cookbooks and just generally having fun. I'd like to think so. Hopefully being a little bit more successful in my castle by the sea. Not that I've got any high expectations or anything. Noobs Fan Sub. Hey Dave, love your show. I really want to become a YouTube cook, but I have a serious problem. Every time I cut onions, or any time I am in the same room as a raw cut onion, my eyes become red and fill with tears. Do you have any tips to help me? Okay, this is going to sound utterly ridiculous, and I look totally deranged every time I chop onions, but I guarantee it works. Get yourself a pair of sunglasses, the wrap-around kinds that sort of go right around your eyes, not just the normal ones that sit there and leave a gap there. Make sure they actually wrap all the way around your eyes, and you wear those while chopping your onions. It doesn't allow the onion vapor to get into your eyes, or at least it minimises any possible exposure, and you won't start crying or get red eyes or anything like that. I've been doing it for years. I look utterly strange sitting there with a pair of sunglasses in the kitchen chopping onions, but it works. So give it a go. Trust me, it'll work for you, but it absolutely has to be the ones that wrap around. Make sure it's just not a normal pair of sort of square-shaped glasses or anything. Just really sort of, if you can find them, you'll be set. Flames of Fear. Do you have or want some kids? I don't know. How much are they? That was inappropriate. No, I don't have kids. I don't see myself having children. Probably, I'm not really the parental type. Children annoy me. I don't mind sort of other people's children. I don't mind being an uncle, and hell, I'm a grand uncle now. But yeah, I'm happy to return the child when I'm bored with it, or when it gets too smelly or noisy or crying. So like, I couldn't handle having one all the time. I don't think that would work for me. THRN for kids. I've always wanted to try Tim Tams. Please send me a box. Oh man, if I sent Tim Tams to everyone who asked, I'd be broke, honey. I'd just be a Tim Tam distributor. Well, that's the last question for coffee time. So we have a record length coffee time of nearly an hour and a half. Holy crap. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I swear to God, I'm never letting coffee time go for so long without an episode, because obviously there's too many questions this time around. So, and this is with a fair amount of editing of them. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm blathering. I'll talk to you later. See you next month for coffee time. Lots of love to you all, and keep out of trouble.